DEVILREAUX, man, I call him the new face of horror. It's pretty much about revenge. It's about getting back at the people who did dirt to me. Moms bring me back and we go after the bloodline. And I won't stop until they're all dead. But will they survive? That's the question. I'm honored to have one of my favorite horror icon legends in it, Mr. Tony Todd. Most people know him as Candyman. He plays my dad. We have a great cast, great writing. I was honored to be able to not only write a lot of it, but to have story by me. This is the first time I've really and truly done something like this. Thank you to Lionsgate. Thank you to Ben, Phil, the producers, executive producers, for believing in me. And thank you to the cast and the directors for believing in me as well. It started probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I just got tired of getting killed off on everything. So I told myself, I'm going to create a character and I ain't dying. So that's how I came up with DEVILREAUX. And then it was like, I kept on looking and seeing like the new age Candyman. And then Candyman came back, of course. I wasn't expecting that, but one of the great things about that is got Candyman in my movie. So thank you, Tony Todd. Yeah. Only time I get scared is when I feel like I'm about to have a panic attack. If I'm being locked in something. For example, it's a scene where I had to get in a casket. And it's like one of those old school caskets where they just put the top on and they had to nail it. And everybody in the cast knew, I'm claustrophobic. And so they was like, they had everything set up. I said, I get in the casket when you guys are ready. I get in, and all of a sudden, I'm in here, I got my eyes closed. I hear knocking, just knocking. But it was somebody hammering. And I knocked the top off so quick. And I was like, what the hell is going on? They're like, what are you talking about? I said, why y'all trying to hammer me in here? And they're like, nobody. Then they looked, it's like, oh, somebody was fixing the bottom of the casket. So he was hammering. But in my mind, he's hammering me in there. He's locking me in. And it's another scene with the basement. It's like, yeah, we're going to do the scene in the basement, but we have to go outside to get there. And so I look and I see this little bitty door. And I'm like, I know that's not what we're going through. And of course, that's the door I had to go through. So the whole time in the basement, I'm like bent over and I'm trying not to have a panic attack. But besides that, I'm fine with everything else. Growing up, I've always had like Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers posters in my room from Spencer's. And so my parents used to ask me, do you need to talk to us about something? Because I was a dancer in a rap group and I was a big time basketball player, but I never had any of those posters of an NBA player or college player on my wall. And I never had any like Public Enemy and Salt and Pepper posters or anything like that. I only had scary ones. And I remember for a fact, I had a big stand-up poster of Freddy Krueger that I bought at Spencer's back then. So yeah, I've always had that, that horror genre in my soul. And I think by my height being 6'4" and my voice always came off a little scary or sexy. It just depends on how you want to look at it. So, but yeah, I don't get scared. I don't get scared at haunted houses. My wife gets so mad at me because she play. There's no use to going with you because you won't be scared. I'm like, because I know when people find out I'm from The Walking Dead, they try extra to try to scare me, and so yeah. The one I have right now, because I know I'm coming back. For Walking Dead, I'm like, when I'm dead, am I coming back? No? Okay, goodbye. But it's funny that we're talking about zombies because I have a movie coming out with this guy right here, well, this is not him, but this is the tattoo he has on his chest and that his stomach and that he's known for, and that's Mr. Danny Trejo. So it's a new movie coming out called Seven Cemeteries, in which he has to bring us back to help him kill this witch. And it's supposed to be horror, but it's so much comedy in there. The very first scene with me and Danny in a fight scene, it's just like, I didn't realize how short he was. He still took me out, but but just playing a zombie and having to put that makeup on every day. Oh my God, I don't see how people do it. I really and truly don't. And the contacts going around your eyes, I hated that more than anything. I'd rather sit in the chair 2 or 3 hours, get makeup on, than to get those contacts put on, popped in my eye for 15 seconds, and then have them in my eyes all day. I applaud the walkers, zombies from The Walking Dead, for having to come in so early and put their makeup on and had to be like led to the set because they couldn't see. So, I mean, imagine just walking around, you can't see anything or everything is blurry. So that's one thing I really don't like is contacts. Everybody brought their A game. It could be because if they didn't, I was going to give them the DEVILREAUX eyes. But everybody, I mean, some of these people I didn't know. You know, I was part of the casting, but some of the people that I tried to bring in, you know, some of them did get hired, but I was still pleased with the ones that they did bring in. And the guy named John's been in everything. I forgot John's last name right now, but you see John, and he's from my hometown. What's the odds of that? He's from Dayton, Ohio, too. And some people that I've worked with before, and everybody just, you know, you see the trailer. People really and truly look scared or, you know, look like, oh, please, there's no such thing. So everybody brought their A game. But once you put the costume on, it's different. You know, when you put the costume on, you put the makeup on, you put the everything on, you just pretty much turn into that creature. When they say action, that is. Well, not that creature, that character. When they say action, you know, I've heard quite a few crazy stories about, like, well, do you ever feel like the character is gonna take your soul and you being possessed and stuff like that? I was like, no, not at all. Because when it says cut, guess what? Cut. I'm back to Vincent playing around, doing this, doing that. But the clothes is something that a lot of people like, and the clothes is something that I saw the people, you know, the goth people wear, and that crap was expensive, man. I'm like, these people, how do they afford this crap? I mean, a jacket was $400, the shirt was like $2. DEVILREAUX gonna wear the same crap all the time. So once you get in character, but it's like that for when you act, period. It doesn't even have to be something scary. Once you get in character, you're in character, and you're supposed to portray the character that you're paid or asked to do. What's going on for me this year? I just finished a play called New Jack City, based off the movie, the legendary movie New Jack City, starring Tretch from Naughty by Nature. He played Nino Brown. Flex Alexander played Pookie. Alan Payne played his original character, G Money. Gary Dordain came in. He played Ice-T's part. And I was happy about this last person, Big Daddy Kane, which is somebody that I looked up to in my dancing days with him and Scoop and Scrap Lover. He was in it, and I played a character called Dudder Man. Dudder Man was the guy who stuttered all the time. We had Claudette Ortiz from the group City High. You had let's see, Tori Hart. I had some very talented people. My man Al, my boy Eric Moore, who's an awesome dynamic singer, man. Al is too. I had some great singers in there, great singers, great dancers. My boy Landon Moss, he played Kareem, which was Christopher Williams' part. He did an awesome job. So I have that, and like I said earlier, I have Seven Cemetery coming up. I have a couple independent films that I just filmed recently. And what was that? In Tennessee, in Fresno, and I finished one in New York this past weekend. It's called No Looking Back. And I'm working on a new show on BT called The Black Hamptons. We're kind of like Floyd Mayweather with the Money Team, with starring Black China, Rico, Ron Rico. Ron Rico's been in everything, and a young fella named Darnell. So I'm excited about that. And of course, DEVILREAUX, and creating more projects. I've been creating more and more stuff, so I won't get killed off. And but the one that I'm most passionate about is my travel show. I've always wanted to be a travel host. You know, you really never see any black men being a travel host. My dream job would to be where Anthony Bourdain left off. May he rest in peace. Not as quite, for the chefing. I call it chefing. Not for the cooking and stuff, but just for the travel. I mean, who wouldn't want a job that you go to the most beautiful places in the world, you eat the best food, you drink the best drink, and you get paid? Who wouldn't want to do that? So I know I'm leaving something out, but and of course, DEVILREAUX June 9th over there. And so, yeah, that's what I got coming up, man. And I'm trying to be an example to my 14 grandkids. Just trying to leave a legacy for them. Just be a good example for people that I don't know. Put my parents in a place where they don't have to worry about anything. And just be a good husband, a good role model to, the kids that listen, my kids that listen. So that's what I'm on, man. I'm just trying to be positive about everything. And, just got this other little show coming up, the Baddest Goodest show coming up, man, where we're just going to be like podcasts / game show / having a good time. And once again, that falls in the category as me being a host. Not a hoe, but a host.